So I want to talk to you about two more things, Dr. Jack. I want to talk about one, laws and regulations and risk appetite. So first, let's talk about laws and regulations. What are some of the significant or major regulations that we as cybersecurity professionals and risk professionals should be communicating to the board of directors? I know you mentioned in the paper, you talked about PCI DSS and
Yeah.
GDPR. So kind of elaborate on those things for us.
Yeah, I think you need to understand, again, it comes from your business model. It's geography focused. Are you doing business in the European Union? GDPR attaches to those types of things. If you're handling certain types of data, you have to understand if you're doing business in California, you have CCPA concerns, and these things change over time. And it requires a very close connection with the cybersecurity team and the risk team to a chief privacy officer, to a chief legal officer. They should become your best friend in this. They have insights into things that are very helpful in understanding those business models and in communicating risk. Some organizations risk reports up through legal because that's how they think about it from a compliance perspective. So better understanding and communicating these types of concerns and what non-compliance means to the board is very, very helpful that way. If you're accepting credit card transactions and you're not outsourcing that, or you're issuing credit cards, those things clearly attach to a PCI DSS compliance need. So letting the board know, one, that you're aware of the things that they're probably aware of regulation wise, and two, making sure that you communicate to them, here's what failures in cybersecurity could mean to these types of security and privacy regulations. That's an important consideration and actually helps you better understand what loss looks like. So many organizations are concerned about what non-compliance looks like. So helping to communicate that with the assistance of a legal team gives you the opportunity to form another connection in that business hierarchy, but also appear as if you're on the same page with those teams. So I think it's a very strong message to be able to say, these 10 failures we think are attached to these scenarios where, in this case, regulators are the attackers. Not that we
Yeah.
think of them in an adversarial kind of way, but they're the ones that are going to bring about loss for an organization. If you
Sure.
banks, for example, can have their entire charters pulled, or they can be limited in how they're able to do business. So, uh, one of those board concerns I mentioned earlier, that's further down the list, is increasing regulatory needs, and all the regimes associated with managing that are highly complex and highly difficult. I was listening to a podcast the other day around some of the details around, how in the U.S. The regulatory framework around cryptocurrency is changing and how they're thinking about it. And man, that's really complex. And I'm glad I'm not a lawyer because I don't know if I can keep up with that kind of stuff.
Right.
But understanding broadly that these are concerns that organizations have. If we're
Sure.
going to start if we're going to start accepting cryptocurrency as payment, well, that has implications to the organization from a compliance
Yeah.
perspective. We need to make sure that we communicate what that looks
Absolutely.
like and that there could be risk associated with it.
Yeah.
Not that we should avoid it altogether. No organization competes better by avoiding risk. They compete better by managing risk that they do have. And part of
Yeah.
that comes from ensuring that we're communicating it appropriately to the board so that they can make the right decisions.